where do I start, Solomon? What do I say?
Why? What happened, man? Is
What
everything
happened,
all right?
bro? I don't know, man. You tell me. Is everything all right with you?
I've beyond caring at this point. Let's be fair.
That's the problem. That's the problem. All right. Before we get into it, whatever. Welcome to the show and this and that. Zach, Solomon, you guys know who we are. Um, bro, I'm beyond caring now. You know, I'll tell you a story. And obviously, people who don't know what we're talking about the Arsenal Tottenham game. I fell
Talking
asleep.
about Arsenal. Arsenal.
Talking
Yeah.
about Arsenal, but the game in general. I fell asleep, right? I think during halftime.
Yeah.
For those who don't know, in Australia, in Sydney especially, the game's on ridiculous times, around 3 o'clock in the morning, 4 o'clock in the morning.
3:30. Yeah.
So I'm watching the game, and I'm seeing Arsenal play, and I'm seeing Tottenham play. I'm thinking, okay, so Tottenham's doing exactly what Tottenham does, right? Against big teams, they'll sit in, right? They'll say, no worries, come at us. And then when you're tired, we're going to come back at you really hard and going to counter attack, right? So I'm seeing it. Tottenham's doing nothing. Arsenal's trying and trying. Again, no creativity, trying to cross the ball in this, that, whatever. And then Son gets the ball off Harry Kane. What a shot. He
That was a good
bangs
goal.
it into the corner, right?
That was a great goal.
And I didn't feel anything. I wasn't
Yeah.
upset. I wasn't angry. I wasn't annoyed. I was just like, wow, what a great goal. And then I watched the Harry Kane goal at the end of the half. Again, wow, what a great goal. Halftime came. I fell asleep maybe 5 minutes after halftime. I woke up, checked the score to see 2-0 lost to Arsenal. I was like, yep, makes sense. And that was it.
So you made a mistake. You actually thought we might have been a chance, or you just wanted to watch it. I don't know. I don't know what your intention was, because
I'm not talking
yeah,
about that. What
man.
I'm talking about is the general feeling. It's scary because you're an Arsenal fan and you feel the exact same way. You're saying you didn't feel nothing.
No, of course I didn't, because I didn't expect to win. So that's the difference. So, mate, I don't know what you expected out of the game. Did you expect a fight? You expect something?
No.
A reaction?
No, but you're misunderstanding me, bro. No, even though,
No, I get it. I get it.
even when we don't
I
expect to win, right? When you lose, it still hurts, right?
No, but
When
say the thing
something,
is,
there's still a bit of man, damn it,
uh,
this that. There was none of that.
yeah, I know what you're saying, especially in the North London derby, but like again, we're so far off the pace, man. We're not like we weren't fifth coming into this game. We weren't banging on the top four. We're 15th. It's a joke. We're 15th right now, and I think Arsenal and I think you said Everton to me before are the only teams that have never been relegated.
Correct.
Records are made to be broken.
Look,
It's
of
a
course,
joke. In all
yeah,
seriousness, it's a
of
joke.
course that doesn't happen.
But again, man, it shows they're not on the same wavelength as the manager.
But can I say something to you? I want to bring up something that you said, because around 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, we had this topic about Tottenham, right? Tottenham, Arsenal, and I very publicly said that for me, Tottenham's going to win the league,
Yep.
just based on how they're playing, based on their manager, whatever. And you very, very not aggressively, but very openly said that they're going to style of play, this and that, whatever. So, given what happened now against Arsenal, why are you so, in a way, lenient on Arsenal, saying, "Well, what did you expect, bro? Tottenham's just a better team." Why are you so lenient?
Because I'm being realistic. What are you talking about? Why am I being so lenient?
Because
Tottenham, obviously, no. Let's go back. You definitively said Tottenham's going to win the league, and I definitively said to you, they're not guaranteed to win the league. Liverpool's still there, and you dismissed Liverpool back then. You did you not?
I have, yeah.
Yeah, why? But I don't get why you've done that. We'll talk about that, but I actually don't understand why you've done that. This is such a close competition. This is completely different to past years, right? And it really, the gap, or they're tied at the top. It's only goal difference that separates Tottenham and Liverpool. The gap isn't big. It's really up for grabs still. So that's what I was going at you about.
Okay, but regardless of whatever that is that you just said, it's
sorry, sorry, mate. What do you say? Regardless,
regardless.
What did you? What didn't you understand?
No. I understand. I'm saying regardless of what you said. At the end of the day, yeah, it's a London derby, right?
Yep.
It's a massive game for both teams.
Yep.
And I'll go back to the original point. The fact that I don't feel upset, annoyed, or anything after this game finished, right, is ringing big alarm bells for me, because it's telling me that I, like you, like a lot of our Arsenal fans that we know, have become disconnected with the club, right? Because usually we'd have something to look at, or something to be hopeful for, or something to be angry at. There was nothing. There was nothing, and that's been the problem for the last 6, 7, 8 games, right? And at same time, this time last year, year before, whatever it was, when Unai Emery was here, right? Even he didn't let things get this bad, and we were calling for his head. And we were passionately saying this guy is ruining our club and he's this and that, whatever.
Yeah,
So
but
I'm asking you, why
that's
are
completely
you,
different.
why are you as an Arsenal fan being lenient and saying, well, we didn't expect to win anyway, so that's all right. Tottenham won, no worries.
Well, your whatever your feelings are, that confirms to me that you agree with me. You don't think we're that good enough.
No,
you don't think we're good enough.
That's not why I'm not upset.
No, but that does. No, it's not the whole thing, but that does. But yeah, but that does play into it, right? Honestly, put them on paper, the both of those teams. Could we have won that game?
Yeah.
No, before the game, could we have won?
Yeah, of course we could.
Why? What gave you a hope that we could win that game? Tell me what gave you the hope.
Because 11 for 11.
After you obliterated Arteta, last week.
Go. 11, team for team, player for player. Yeah.
Yep.
We put up teams in player for player. The gap is not that high between Tottenham and Arsenal, right? What separates, and we know this because Tottenham have had a very similar team the last few seasons. The last few seasons we've matched them player for player, game for game, right? What's different this season is the amount of belief that Tottenham have compared to the belief that Arsenal have, right? Not about quality on the pitch. It's about the belief that the managers are instilling into their players. It's about the tactics behind the scenes. It's about the plan behind the scenes. Excuse me. So that's what made me go, okay, well, at the end of the day, player for player on the pitch, we can still match them.
Okay.
It's not like they're miles ahead. It's not like we played at Liverpool, where literally in every position you got the left back who's Liverpool's left back is better, Liverpool's right back is better, Liverpool's two centre backs are better, keeper is better. It's not like that. We can still match them. But why no? I mean, why no?
Well, I mean, you just said it. What separated it for you was the tactics and the manager, right? That's what separated for you. You're comparing a 20-year veteran that's won 30+ trophies to a guy who's been in the job for a year and in his first gig. That's completely. That's a completely different. That's completely different. True. You can't deny that. I'm sorry. You cannot deny what I'm saying here.
So when
how do you get a Mourinho? You get a Mourinho who's won trophies, right? He comes into a club like Tottenham and instills belief in them. Why? Because he's got the runs on the board. Arteta, what's Arteta gonna say or do to motivate these guys? Besides the fact that he's played there. Arteta, we've said, and I keep saying this to you, when Arteta came in, that's not his squad at the end of the day. That's not his final squad. That's not the final form of Arsenal in his eyes at the end of the day. If this is a long-term project, I go back to what I said last week. If this is a long-term project, there are players there that are in the team that won't be there in a year or two, right or not?
Yeah.
Okay. Mourinho within a year got rid of like first team every week on the sheet players at Tottenham within a year. True or not?
Who, bro?
Ericsson, Dele Alli.
No, Ericsson wanted to leave.
Vertonghen, Danny Rose. Am I like?
Rose wanted to leave due to playing time.
No, bro. But he made those decisions because he doesn't want those decisions.
I'm with you.
They were first team every week.
Your point of experience is valid. Your point of experience is valid, right? 100%. Mourinho's got a lot more experience.
But
than Arteta.
But I'm going to make a point here. Mourinho has changed the team in his vision. All right, players that want to work hard, players that are willing to do the dirty work, and let the two up the front, the world-class players in Kane and Son, do finish it off for them with whatever magic they've got. True or not? That's the way they play. And like you said, they adapt to any style. There's not one style they do. True?
Tottenham? Yeah.
Tottenham, yeah.
They do.
Okay. But Arteta, I said the one thing that I liked about him, you asked me last week, and I was kind of a bit on edge about it. But it's the fact that he doesn't take crap from anyone. He's not favorite. He's not. He has no favorites right now. Yeah, and there's certain players that don't fit that mold. All right, true, that are playing right now. All right, so it's hard for him to communicate to certain guys. Hey, I'm not going to give you any favoritism. I'm not going to give you, a bit of leeway here. You got to work your ass off for your position. That's the way he's approached this job. Maybe it's the wrong manager at the wrong time, man.
You know what?
In the way I don't. The thing is, it's confusing for me with Arsenal because when they brought him in, were they trying to rebuild or were they trying to win a title? They're like, it's lost in translation. That's for me. That's the thing.
I'll tell you what they were trying to do. But before I get to that, I'll give you that excuse of he's not experienced. He's come up against the manager who's a lot more experienced than Mourinho, and he got taught a lesson that he probably won't forget. Okay, I'll get that. I just think now, how many more excuses, right? How many more excuses are we going to give this guy? Do you get me? Because you maybe it might not be him, but the club as a whole is sending out real mixed messages. Okay, when you give Aubameyang a contract, right? When you give him a contract, you're telling us that we want to win. That's why we gave him a contract, right? When you bring in players like Thomas Partey, we want to win. We're spending money to get players, this and that, whatever. When you spend money on players like Gabriel or whatever else it is,
they spend
us.
They spend money.
You want to win, right?
Yep.
If you're going to say to us, hey guys, we got Arteta because we want to now build with him, right? He doesn't have the experience. We want to give him time. Want him to build this, that, whatever, right? So why not then get rid of, right, players like Aubameyang, like Lacazette, like whoever else, right, to give him money to be able to rebuild, and that way we as fans know, okay, Arsenal's rebuilding, so let's be patient because we don't have the players right now to match. Why then go out and give Willian a nice retirement fund? Why do that? Why give him a retirement package to say, hey, come to Arsenal so you have a bit of money to do whatever you want with? Why do that?
It's because he's business partners with David Luiz, and
probably, bro. I just, that's what's confusing for us as fans. That's what's annoying us fans, right? Is there's so much unknowns that are going on right now at the club. That's really
there's no clarity. There's no clarity in the club.
We're trying to get to the bottom of something, and we're never getting real proper answers, right? You got the king of spin, right? The king of spin usually Shane Warne, right? Nah, it's Mikel Arteta. He is the king of spin because every time he's posed something, like posed the real question, he'll spin it in a way where he thinks he's giving you an answer, but actually has given you nothing. How many times
in regards to transfers and in regards to
transfers, game analysis, what do you call it? Leaving players out. How many times I asked about
Ozil?
I didn't put him in. I tried to.
We talked about that.
We talked about it.
We know the truth.
It doesn't make sense.
We know the truth.
So that's why, as fans now, right? Maybe the reason why I didn't feel anything is maybe because what you're saying now is because maybe I've accepted it. I've accepted that we're a mid-table team. I've accepted that for the next 2 years, I'm saying 2, we will be literally rebuilding. I don't expect us to finish top 4 now. It's gone. Whatever hope there was of building on what Arteta did last season with the Arsenal, gone. Because now for me, if we finish 10th, all right, no worries. Good season, man. Good season.
No, it's not a good season.
No, it is because you're rebuilding.
That's not a good season.
But you're rebuilding. If you're rebuilding, it's a good season.
Right? Who said again? But where did they say that? So it's just like you said. It's mixed messages, bro. We don't know what the hell they're doing.
That's what you know. I'll give you an example. You know when what do you call it? Your how can I say this? When you're talking to a mate, and you're messaging him and you're telling him, "Hey, bro, you want to hang out?" And the mate replies back and goes, "Give me a sec, bro. I'll let you know." Right? What does that mean?
No.
What does that mean? It means that he doesn't want to hang out. He's trying to find an excuse to not hang out with you, right? But he doesn't have the guts to tell you, "Hey, bro, no, I don't want to do it today. I can't do it today, whatever." You're right. That's what it is. Arsenal is sending you mixed messages, but you just have to sort of realize what they're saying is, hey guys, we don't want to say it, but it's a rebuilding season. Give us 2 years. We're going to give Arteta time as well. And then let's see where we are after 2 years because we know he's not going anywhere. The way where Arsenal would sort of make me go, okay, you know what, they actually are trying to win and this and that, whatever, is if they fired Arteta. Because Truth be
So
told,
that's it. Now it's confirmed. From your perspective, they need to get rid of him.
no.
They finally confirmed
If
it.
they have ambition to win within the next year, they have to fire Arteta because
Okay,
he,
so
unfortunately, I'll give you an example of something he
I
did.
need to clarify this because last week I put that to you, and you're like, no, something needs to change. Now you've confirmed that's the change they need to get back to their successful ways. Is that right?
Yeah, because obviously this job is too big
Okay,
for him.
that's
Like
it.
you just said, he was outclassed, hard experienced. So if the club now as a whole is like, wait a second, we don't want that. We want to win a title. Then okay, they're gonna have to get rid of him and bring someone else with experience.
No.
Allegri, whoever else. But if they don't, that's them telling us, giving us hidden messages and saying, guys, we're rebuilding. We're going to give Arteta the time. Going to give him the time that he needs to build his squad. So please be patient for the next 2 years. And no worries, we'll be patient. I mean, bro, it's nothing new. We've lost to big teams before, and had to come on and talk about it. So whatever, we'll keep doing that. But don't come out here and give us false hope. You know what I mean? When we give you a question, um, don't spin it. Don't spin it. The whole game plan, the whole thing, the reason why we went to 4-2-3-1 was because we didn't have good enough players, or we didn't have a good enough system. So he said, I need to change the system. There was a break, international break, came back, went to 4-2-3-1. Now again, he's back to 5 at the back. You know what I mean? You got Saka, Tierney,
Yeah.
Bellerin, and Willian on the right, literally hugging the sidelines, and crossing the ball into Aubameyang. A lot has been made of it. Everyone's heard the stories now about Aubameyang crossing whatever. And after the game, you're gonna have the audacity to say, "Oh, we had the chances and we created them more." No, you didn't. It's because Mourinho let you. But no worries, you're a bit deluded. All good, man. We're rebuilding. We get it now. No worries, we're rebuilding. Take your time.
That's it. You've accepted the
I
rebuild.
accept it. Like I said to you, 10th place for me is good this season. I'm happy. Give me 10th. You know what? If you get Europa League again, that's massive. If we get Europa League again this season, that's massive, bro. That's a massive tick. Massive tick.
What if he wins the FA Cup again?
Also, again, I'm thinking like, you know what? I feel like I'm an Everton fan now, right? From 4 or 5 years ago, right? That's great. Win the FA Cup, amazing, perfect. But yeah, there's no more expectation, dude. My expectation, I'm out. I'm out.
It's out the window. It's
No
out the
more
window.
expectations. Nothing. I hold none of Aubameyang. I hold none of anyone else. Nothing. We've been, Stephen A. bamboozled. We've been lied to. We've been all that. It's just
the answer's right under their nose, and like they won't go for it. You know, it's Ozil, and you know he's the guy. And I'm not saying we're gonna win every game, but that guy adds a completely different dimension to the team, an unpredictable dimension to the team. We say predictable. That's the problem I've got with our attack. Like I said, we used to like accept that we're crap at defending. We're going to concede, but at least we might score more goals than them. True.
Yeah.
And that's gone. So
it's gone.
That's it. Move on, man. Move on, please.
That's one side of London. We had the other side of London there as well, right? Tottenham.
Mm-hmm.
And man, oh man, did they play well? And we said before this was going to be a make or break game for both teams. We said, it's a must win for both. And if Tottenham lost that game, it was going to be like same old Tottenham, But them winning the way that they did, playing smart. Again,
they're finding a way to win. They find ways to win. That's what they're good at.
That's what title teams do. They find ways to win. And of course, it's going to be hard to sort of get through the season like that. But look, 11 games in now. I think 11 or 10 games in. So we're a third through the season, also whatever. And they're top. So if they can keep finding a way to do that, why not, man? If there's anyone that can hold it out, it's Mourinho. This team, I don't know if you agree. It reminds me a lot of the Real Madrid team and their counter-attacking ways. Obviously, the quality is very different, but Real Madrid were known for that as well. Big counter-attacking team. In a time where Barca was dominating La Liga, Mourinho came and won La Liga with Real Madrid playing the same way.
And he still has a Spanish record, doesn't he?
He does
for the points, for the goals, and everything. But this team's completely different to Pochettino's Tottenham. Would you agree?
How?
Style of play.
Style of play.
Yeah. Like it's not the best to watch.
No way.
It's not the best to watch. So Pochettino's team, Tottenham in history, always prided themselves on playing flair. Playing with flair, playing an exciting brand of football that would, hopefully spook the big teams and overpower the small teams. But they've gone away from that because it hasn't won them nothing.
That's right.
So that's why we go back to when you bring a guy like Mourinho in, who's got the runs on the board, who's won 30 plus trophies, the players can't question what he says. You know what I mean? They can't
100%.
question his tactics. They
There's
can't
there's
question his
belief.
motives.
There's belief.
He knows what to do. He knows how to get it done. You just got to believe in the system
100%.
and believe in him.
100%.
So it's ugly, but you know, a lot of pundits are complaining about the way they play, and that's perfect for
Jeez.
Mourinho. He couldn't give a crap.
He doesn't give a shit.
Tottenham
yeah.
fans couldn't give a crap,
Not
to
at
be
all.
fair.
Not at all, bro.
So
Not at all.
good luck to him.
That's the way to do
But it's
it.
not guaranteed. I'm sorry, it's not guaranteed, mate.
You're not a believer yet.
Liverpool, no, but Liverpool's not going away. And you know the funny thing about Liverpool, if they had their full squad, they probably would have won this by 20 points. True,
Yeah.
like if they had their full team.
Not 20,
But
but
they
they would have
don't.
done well. But they would have done
But
well.
they would have comfortably won, I think, and they don't. So, and they're still second by goal difference. It's crazy, man. People thought they were going to fall off and lose points. They smashed Wolves, man. Wolves is a good team, generally against Liverpool.
Mhm.
So I don't know, man. It's not guaranteed. I know it's guaranteed for you, but
For me, like, I'm only one of the ones to say yeah. For me, they're gonna win the league. They just
quick question.
Everything's set up for them. Everything's set up.
Quick
for
question.
Yeah.
Bale, he's not being used a lot. Do you see that's it? He's just going to be on the bench, and when he's needed to come on, or is he going to play a bigger role? You think?
No, I think he'll play a bigger role towards the second half of the season. I think Mourinho's just managing him really well because he's frail. You know what I mean? It does. Would you rather have Bale come off the bench or Bale play 5 games, get injured, and then be out for 3 months? I think it does a lot more for the unity and for the morale of the team to have someone like Bell come off the bench. You know what I mean? Just for now, until he gets his bit of fitness in, a bit of game time under his belt. Because it's a lift, bro. You don't even when if you're a young guy walking around Tottenham and you say, what's his name, the guy that plays right wing for him,
Bergwijn as well, yeah, Bergwijn.
He sees someone like Bell who's been at Real Madrid and he's won titles, and I'm sure that's somewhere that he wants to go and do the same. It sort of lifts the players up, you know what I mean? So plus players like Lamela and whatever. So it's just good to have him there. It's a good player to have in the squad, And we saw Wenger do the same thing. Wenger used to bring in Henry, for training sessions, and even came back and played for Arsenal for a bit. Beckham came and trained with Arsenal for a bit. Perez would come train. So they just lift the players up and get them to a new level. So I think what he'll do is play him when needed, and then when he feels like he's ready, he'll unleash that front three, then it's GG after that.
The thing is, he's not a Mourinho. He's not a Mourinho player. He's not in that mold. You know what I mean? Like he's not,
bro. I disagree.
No. Hear me out. In terms of he's capable. Like at his best, he's better than Son and Kane, right? But he's obviously a bit past it, a little bit, yeah, because of injuries, because he's a bit frail, because of he hasn't had a lot of game time in the last couple of years. True, but I don't know where you find a position for him. I think eventually he wants to start him. Bale didn't come for a holiday at the end of the day, right? He came to prove himself as well and make his mark on this team. I don't know where or I don't know if he'll accept that. He's got to. Is his ego going to allow him to accept a bench role? You know what I mean? I don't see it.
So again, like I said, I think they've talked about it. They've set a plan up for him. What you don't get is being he has not been wanted at Real Madrid for the last 5 seasons. Hasn't been wanted there, and that does a lot for your morale, but does a lot for your mental health, where you're just constantly thinking like, what am I doing here? What am I doing here? And it's almost he's gone from being this guy who always strived to be the best. So all of a sudden saying, well, look, you know what? I'm getting money, I'm playing golf, and I'm happy, so whatever. So that takes a while. It takes a while to reset that mentality. So Bale coming here,
it's poor. It's poor to see, not from his perspective, but it's just sad to see because he's such a.
That's right.
At his peak, man, he's up there with the best. And
100%.
the thing for me, why I'm saying this is because he's the epitome of what Tottenham was. Has always been flair, attacking football. He doesn't. You can't ask him to go and defend, you know what I mean? He's a bit like Ozil. Like, don't ask him to go back and chase, is what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, Mourinho would rather bring on Davies, you know what I mean? And push Regulon up front, up to left wing and say, keep chasing, keep chasing. Like, that's how he plays. That's how Mourinho is.
Not
If he
always,
wants to
bro. Not
solidify.
always. Not
Not
always.
always, but
Not
like
always,
I'm
bro.
saying, like if he wants to solidify a result, he's not going to bring Bale on to make it even, to
No, but there's no need. Again, he's making
yeah,
Tottenham as a culture buy into what he's saying. And what
of
he's saying is
course.
we take a game by game, and we get that win and we just get out of there. That's all it is, you know. There's no thing of what we played
Well,
great and whatever, you know. Because Tottenham, you're talking about Tottenham playing good football, whatever. They were in our shadow for a long time, and Arsenal shadow for a long time. Wanted to be like us and play the football that we played and whatever. I think Mourinho's come in and said, "Listen, sack Arsenal, just win. Who cares? Who cares how people say you play? Just win." And everyone sort
yeah.
of bought into that. So I think he's had a conversation with Bell. They're trying to reset his mentality now to sort of like him sort of getting back that hunger, getting back that drive. And I'm sure come January, February, whatever, we're gonna see Bell a lot more often starting in games. It's a long season, bro. A long campaign.
Well, yeah, well, they don't really
I'll
need him
see.
right now. But if they fall in trouble, I mean, it'll be interesting to see how they use him.
He's a great backup to have. Great backup.
Yeah,
You mentioned Liverpool there, and Liverpool themselves are not doing too bad actually. Coming equal first, and I was sort of very adamant that Liverpool would not win this season. I stand by that. I don't think Liverpool will win the title. I think it's just they'll be gassed out. It's a lot of games that they have to play, but they're doing well with the injuries that they have. Not having Van Dijk, you said they came up against Wolves, and usually Wolves are a tricky team for them, but they did well, 4-0. What's your thoughts on Liverpool, man? What do you I know for you they're one of the favorites, but has anything you've seen in the last few weeks changed that? Are you even more adamant? What's your thoughts?
it's not about, like I said, it's not about being more adamant. But like I said, if they had a full squad, they would have easily won this league. But what it's testing and what it's showing is they've got depth, and they've got depth in their reserves. They've got depth in their under-20s. They got depth in their youth system. Like from the ground up, they've all bought into Klopp, and it's taken a long time to get to that level. And when he first came in, they were players 13, 14, 15. Now they're 18, 19, 20, and they've been asked to step up to the plate, and they have. And it's crazy, man. Like Liverpool used to be that team back in the 80s, 70s. You always wanted to go there. People wanted to start their careers there from when they were a kid and buy into that system. They're proving that they're not just a 3-man team, for instance. They're not. They can deal with injury. I wonder who they bring in January. I wonder if they bring anyone in January, because I think they might not. Because you got to be a certain player to play for Klopp. I mean, 80% of the players, the first team players, are completely different from when he started. Completely different. He's done a big clean out, and at the moment they're so comfortable in their ways. They're so comfortable in they haven't changed their mentality. They think they can win every game still. It's crazy, man. It's just so strong mentally, this club.
Yeah, they are. He's done well. Klopp's done really well. I think he'll go down probably as one of, if not the best manager Liverpool have ever seen in the history.
Probably their best, man.
Yeah,
Probably their best.
like I said, he's really come in. He's changed the culture. He's really changed how people, how people see the game. And he's one of the reasons why I talk so, I guess, openly about Tottenham. About Arsenal and their failures, because he was a manager that came and you straight away saw a style of play. You saw something that Liverpool changed that they didn't have before. The Gurgen press and the pressing from the front and whatever. So he's really someone who every single year looks to change something. Every single year looks to adapt. He's a man of a lot of excuses. I'll give him that. Does like to make a lot of excuses, from the wind to the pitch being dry and this and that.
Hey! He's no different. He's no different.
I don't know.
He's
bro.
no different to Ferguson. He's no different to Sir Alex, man.
I never heard
no
Sir Alex
Sir Alex back in the day.
Make excuses.
He made 30,000 excuses in his career. Stop it, bro. Stop it.
But
you hate Liverpool. Just say it. You hate Liverpool.
No, I don't.
You don't want them to win again.
No, they won't.
I know they're annoying. I know they're annoying, but bro, they're great.
They won't win again. Reason being not because they're a great team. They're a great team. It's just, man, they're gonna be gassed. They've played so
I agree.
many
I agree.
games,
That's gonna,
and it's the same team playing every single season for the last 3 years. they're gonna be gassed, bro.
Yeah,
Champions League
but he
games
doesn't.
coming up.
To be
They're
fair,
gonna
but to be
feel it.
fair, he doesn't. He plays youth teams in like the Carabao Cup and the FA Cup. He doesn't really take them
I'm with you,
seriously
but
because
still, it's a big toll. It's a big toll. It's gonna. That's what, in my opinion, anyway. They could prove me wrong and end up winning the title. And if they do, like if they win this title, this is a question I want to ask you, right? If Liverpool win this title, does it mean more than the one they won last year? Is it more? Is it
it's
more valuable?
it's way more impressive. I
It
don't know
is,
if it's
yeah.
way more valuable because
Impressive.
that's their first
Impressive is
win.
what I
Yeah,
meant. Yeah, that's
it's
right.
way it's way more
Way more
impressive because of the
impressive.
injury toll.
Yeah,
They would have won it without the best defender in the world.
correct.
That's crazy.
A lot
Like
more
that. Like,
adversity.
who
A
could
lot more
say that?
adversity.
You know what I
Um,
mean?
all right, moving on. Moving on from Liverpool. Some other teams that are now impressing. Gave a lot of stick. Gave a lot of stick to Man United in our first few weeks here, and they really went on to prove me wrong because I mean, even though they've been a bit shaky, but they've been winning. They've been putting in the hard yards. They've been winning, so good on them. And Chelsea as well, who were a bit of a mess start of the season, are now doing really well, and pretty much every week just churning out wins. From those two, do you see any of them really challenging or really getting up there in terms of, um, giving somewhat of a title challenge to Liverpool and Tottenham?
What happened to Man City?
We'll get to
Well,
them. They're the next. They're next.
are they playing in the Dubai or something? What's
No,
what's
no, they're
going on? We
next.
forgot about
They're
them.
next. They're next.
I've never, look, for me, I'm more impressed with Chelsea at the end of the day because Chelsea, it, it was very unknown, where they were going this season. And we're looking at whether Frank, it's still early in the season, but whether Frank could handle the pressure because last year had no pressure. He could play the young guys. They had the ban, the transfer ban, and it kind of had free reign back then. But now there's expectation, and we said it. If he doesn't do better than last year, he's gone. And I'm way more impressed with Frank. Man United, I feel like, man, these guys are just they're living on a prayer. They're actually like it's like they have to go behind. They have to go behind. They play way better away. First of
Yeah.
all, that's weird.
Yeah.
And did you see what happened to Pogba today with his manager?
No, what happened?
He
Really?
came out and said, he came out and he said he doesn't want to be here. So like there's games. He just came out and said, hey, he doesn't want to be here.
That's it. That's what he said.
Yeah, he said, look, he's not extending.
No,
and he just came out and said, why are we hiding this? Let's just say it. He wants to go to Rio. And I feel like there's people behind the scenes in Man United that want to see them fail and want to see a certain manager come in and take over, regardless of how good they're going. But they want to kind of stuff up the morale there. I don't know. I don't know about Man United. I think they've been beating teams that probably they should be beating. They got the derby this week, right, against City. That'll tell me more of whether they're for real this year. Chelsea, on the other hand, they're playing really good football. They're playing. They're exciting to watch, man, and they're buying into Frank's philosophy, and he's doing well so far. But it's early days still. Chelsea, because they're very close. They can still. They'll be up there. It's
Well,
going to be
if you look at quality for quality player for player, Chelsea have a really good squad of players. I think people forget that Chelsea have Kante, who probably is still the best centre defensive midfielder in the world. So yeah, I think player for player, Chelsea can definitely challenge. I just the only thing that sort of goes against them is the experience. They're a bit inexperienced when it comes to title challenges, and the manager, also the team. So that's going to be what's going to sort of get in their way. With United, yeah, they're living on a prayer. Although, like I said, they're doing well, they're winning games, and that's what's important. It just feels like you'll have one, not even game to game. It's like half to half. You'll have a game, one half where they're playing amazing, and then the next half they just sort of become weird. So, and now I just read about the Pogba thing, and you're right. Rioli saying that Pogba is unhappy, he wants to leave, and he wants to leave in January.
Yeah.
Which might not be a bad thing because they have, one of the things I criticized them on was not knowing who their midfield three are. And since they've put Bruno, Van der Beek, and McTominay or Matic, or like a combination of those guys, it's really started to work. Yeah. So might not be a bad thing. Cash in on him, get some money, and then have a look at, buying either a centre back or buying a striker or another box to box midfielder. I don't know. Wingard?
For me, that the key difference between those two teams, I think Chelsea, um, Frank's really getting it to play as a team. You know what I mean? It's like you all have to do your part, and it'll come off. Whereas you look at Man United, they're really heavily relying on individual brilliance.
Uh-huh.
It's not like a
Bruno
set
Fernandes
thing.
is what they're relying on. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. And like, how long does that last? Again, like it can stuff up in a second, and they could go on a bad run again.
Sure.
I feel like Chelsea's building something more solid than United at the end of the day.
Speaking of building, Man City. You mentioned them before. I don't know. I don't know. Man City 1 week smashed teams 4-0, and then the week after we just I don't know, man. I feel like they should be being discussed. They should be being talked about as being the next team after Liverpool and Tottenham, to be in line for that title. But yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know what to say about them. They
I
just
feel
keep
like, yeah,
they just keep not hard for them. It's not half to half. For them, it's game to game. It's like both Manchester clubs are a bit of the same pickle. Obviously, injuries have really hurt Man City in terms of their striker being injured.
Yeah.
That sort of really hurt them. And I don't fear them the way I used to. There used to be a certain fear you had of Man City. I just don't fear them anymore. I feel like
that's what they want us to think. That's what they want us to think. I've never known a Man City team to be this under the radar since they were bought out by the Arab billionaires.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've never known a Man City team to be this under the radar. They're like fourth, fifth, or sixth on the stories right now.
Uh-huh.
No one cares about them, and
No
that's
one
what they
cares.
want. I think Pep, is happy about that. Ever since they lost to Tottenham, they've been getting good results. They haven't lost. I know they drew with was it Porto the other week in the Champions League?
Uh-huh.
But they've been winning in the Premier League, and they've been winning pretty comfortably, regardless if it's 2-0, 4-0, whatever. Like, they've been winning. So, like I said, they finally center stage this week, and it's a big game for both teams, both City and United.
So you think this is good for Man City? You think people sleeping on them is a good thing because they eventually will come up and be one of those teams?
Yeah, allow me to reintroduce myself. It's coming. They'll be saying that in a few weeks' time. They're creeping up the ladder, man. They are creeping up the ladder. They're 6 points behind.
Yeah.
I mean, that's nothing. That's nothing in this form of Premier League, the way that's been going on this year.
Interesting take, bro. Very, very interesting take. Let's just finish it off with a few picks. I want to hear what you have to say. I want to give out some teams to you, bro. Some games coming up this weekend.
Yep.
And I want to hear who you think's going to win. I'll give my take as well. Okay, here we go. First game, Leeds United versus West Ham. Who you got?
Man, West Ham started well against United last week. Then they stuffed up.
West Ham should have won that game. You see how many chances they should have won that game, bro. Should have won that game. That could have been 5-0, 4-0. But yeah, I don't know. Anyways,
it's a Leeds home game, is it?
Yep.
Oh man, I'll say draw.
I'll say Leeds, bro. I think Bamford is playing really well.
Yeah,
well, and I think the Leeds.
He's under the radar as well.
Yeah, if they can match against these teams, bro, I think Leeds win this game. Wolves versus Aston Villa.
Wolves got smashed, man. But I think they'll hit back. I think they'll win this week.
Yeah, they'll come back in Aston Villa.
Yeah,
I agree. I think Wolves at home. I think will come back in Aston Villa. Newcastle, West Brom.
Who would want to watch that one? Draw. Yeah.
Draw?
Yeah,
I'll say
draw.
Newcastle because they're at home. Man United, Man City.
That's the big one.
Mm-hmm.
I think this news
with fans.
I think this news of Pogba might have unsettled them, but they were going smooth. They were going as smooth as United can possibly be at this point in time, and that stuffed them up for the week. That's all that Ole's going to be asked. The players are going to be asked about that.
Those will be the story. That's going to be the story after the game.
That's it. That's it. And especially if they lose, my goodness. I'll go City.
I think based off what you said, bro, given recent form, I think City win this game and sort of like you said, come out from under the radar a bit more when people start talking about
Yeah.
City. Everton versus Chelsea.
It's another big one. I don't know, man. I'll go Chelsea. Man.
I'll go Everton. I think Everton's gonna. They've been last few games.
They've been poor. That's
they've
the
been
thing,
poor, but they've been. It's like they're just one little move away from winning, and they're not getting there. They're not getting that, putting away that chance, or just Sigurdsson last week had a 1-on-1 as well. I think they'll get up for this game. I think Ancelotti will do really well. And I think
it is the perfect
Chelsea.
game for them to win. Like it's set up for them to win. But just I feel like injuries. We said like their depth was always going to be tested if they got injuries, and it has hurt them.
I feel like they're set up to play big teams. The way the team is set up, it's not to play little teams. I don't know. They buckle a bit, or they get a bit stagnant. But
they underestimate them or something.
Yeah. I think they'll do well. Southampton versus Sheffield.
Oh, Southampton easily.
Southampton. Also Southampton as well.
Can I say something quickly? Sorry, before we move on.
Yeah, tell me.
Our mate a couple of weeks ago said he loved watching Sheffield. What year was he talking about?
I don't remember. What year?
No, I'm just saying, what has Sheffield done this year that he enjoyed? They're
maybe last season they came like fifth, didn't they? Sixth.
Okay, maybe he's talking about the year before, was he? Okay.
Even then, they didn't play great football. They just played hard football. So I don't know.
That's it.
Who was that? Who was the main name drop? Who was the guy?
You know him. You know who it is. You know who it is. I don't have to say.
I think I know. Yeah. Crystal Palace versus Tottenham.
Crystal Palace, man.
Tottenham? Let's move on.
Wait, but is that Crystal Palace?
Yeah, it doesn't matter. It's Tottenham. They're winning.
Yeah, but you know what? But they can get caught out of these kinds of games.
You're such a hater.
No. But even Mourinho said these sort of games are dangerous for him. When he go, the away games are always dangerous for him because he doesn't know if his team is always up for it at the end of the day. But look, I'll go draw.
Tottenham's going to smash him. Fulham versus Liverpool. Fulham home.
Come on, man. Liverpool, bro.
Yeah, I think Liverpool comfortably. Leicester versus Brighton.
Leicester,
yeah. Arsenal versus Burnley.
Draw.
Yeah, I'll go for draw as well. I think this is a beautiful... What's Burnley coming around on the table? Burnley is coming 18th.
They're only 3 positions behind.
This is going to be a big game, bro. Big relegation battle.
Big
relegation battle. Arsenal Burnley. Oh my God, we're laughing way inside. Inside, we're crying. Solomon, thank you very much, bro. Thanks for your time.
Thanks, man. I think if we lose this one, I'll be hurt way more than the other one.
There's no more hurt. There's no more hurt.
No. It'll hit me there. It'll be like
that's
far
for
away.
For me, there's no more hurt. For me, it's like okay.
Anyway,
cool.
Don't worry about it, man. Anyway,
take care.
Thanks, bro.
No,
Appreciate it.
See ya.
Say, mate.